Hey everyone, it's Evangeline here at etrailer, and today we're taking a look at the RockyMounts MonoRail 2-bike platform rack and how it fits on the 2020 Ford F-150. So this bike rack is a great all-around bike rack at an affordable price compared to similar racks. You got your great weight capacity for your heavy bikes. You have that front wheel mount, so even if you have a carbon fiber frame bike or women's bike or alternate frame, this is going to work out for you. Now, some things that won't work out is things like the tilt away. We can tilt this bike rack away and it goes down a decent bit, but not enough where we can completely lower our tailgate. So that is going to be a downside if you want to use this with this truck. You still can get it down a good amount of space if you need to grab something real quick, but you lose that whole tailgate access. If you still want to be able to lower your tailgate, you are going to have to take the entire bike off, or 2 bikes off. And that's actually a really easy process. So there's 1 and 2 touch points. One touch point is going to be the rear wheel strap. We'll press this blue lever that disengages the strap so that we can lift it up, and I like to slide it over to the side so it doesn't get tangled up in the spokes. And then there's the second. So you have the front wheel mount, meaning there's 0 frame contact with your bike. You have that strong, sturdy fit there. You just need to press this blue lever. That allows you to push this hook up, push the hook out, and just like that, you are ready to hit the trails. Now, what I do notice here with pairing this truck with this bike rack is that it's a little bit of a lift to get that rack up, or get the bike up and over and into the carrier. We have the nice cradles there for the wheels. Everything's sturdy, but it is going to take a little bit of effort, especially with your heavier bikes. In fact, speaking of heavier bikes, the maximum weight limit for this is 60 pounds per bike. So if you have your electric bikes, this is capable of carrying them. This also folds down to be a bit more compact and neat, and it doesn't really take up much space behind your truck. Measuring from the bumper to the end of the rack, that's only 31.5 inches. Well, you already have a truck, so you know that if you have a small garage, those measurements matter. So this will help you out when backing into tight spaces or seeing if you have enough space for your truck and your bike rack. I mentioned how it might be a little tricky to lift those heavy bikes up, and that's because from the ground to where the cradles are, it's going to be 28.5 inches of clearance. Our actual ground clearance down here at the shank is 17 inches. So for those heavier bikes, you may want to consider ramp options. This does not have a ramp. You might want to check out the Yakima on-ramp, or even the Hollywood Rack's Destination e-bike rack, which also has an included ramp. Now, we can fold this up to be more compact, more neat, and it secures itself in that position. Quick measurements here. The length it now adds to the back of our truck is 14 inches, so big difference compared to when this was in the down position. You can also see 1 and 2 locks there, so you can secure both your bike rack and your bikes with this cable lock core. You have that bright blue lever, which allows you to fold things down or tilt it away. With it folded up though, notice how our taillights are completely visible. It does cover our license plate, but our backup camera is visible. So when you're backing up your truck, it's like your bike rack isn't even there. You can actually expand this to get up to 3 bikes. And if you get the 3-bike version, you can expand it up to 4. And that's when you need to start thinking about clearances. But for the 2-bike, you're perfectly fine. All good to go. You are going to need to hold on to a 3/4 inch wrench or a socket though, because we have an anti-rattle bolt. That anti-rattle bolt is very important for keeping your bike rack sturdy and together with your hitch. That way there's less jostling around. We've got a solid fit here. So all in all, the RockyMounts MonoRail 2-bike platform rack is a solid rack. Whether you have a fat bike with tires up to 5 inches, a heavy electric bike, or a carbon fiber frame bike, it can carry them. The downside to this is it doesn't tilt back far away to lower the tailgate, plus for your heavier electric bikes, it's a little bit of a lift to get them up onto the rack. So I mentioned some other racks that may help you out with that, like the Yakima on-ramp or the Hollywood Racks Destination E. But for what it does, which is keeping your bike sturdy and on there and safe as you get them to the trails, it definitely does the job. This was a look at the RockyMounts MonoRail 2-bike platform rack on the 2020 Ford F-150.
Here it is on our test course. We'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Next, we're at the alternating speed bumps, which we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving over uneven pavement. And finally, we have the full speed bumps, where we'll see the up and down action, which is just like driving out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway.